say you had one?
No, I said I don't.
Oh, I thought you said you had one. I didn't.
No.
You sound really great. You got this wonderful cold.
I know, I've been pretty good all year so far,
Yeah.
but I'm good with it.
You're good, everything? All right, is there a motion to approve the minutes as written?
So moved.
Moved by Jane, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Maurice. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Young,
Yes.
Supervisor Deborah.
Yes. Okay, public comments. Dorothy said, Margraf said she had something she wanted to say.
Hello, my name is Dorothy Margraf. I live on Timber Lane in Monee Township. I want to let you know how you happen to be picking this up on WPAL. WPAL is a community cable station covering Beecher, Peatone, and Monee. The station is run by Mike Margraf. In 2003, he became a volunteer. In 2005, he took over the station because all the other people left. If he hadn't been there in 2005, you wouldn't be hearing this on YouTube or on WPALTV. He's done it because he wanted people to know what goes on in their local governments that they have a right to know if they can't come to the meetings. Here we were talking about TIF, and right now there was a meeting about the TIF situation in Monee, and it was on, and it still is, WPAL. So if you want to see what went on at that meeting, turn on WPAL TV on, or Channel 4.
I'm assuming that was the January 31st public
Yes.
meeting they had? Okay.
There is another meeting coming up on February 22nd, and if he has a volunteer to cover it, it will also be on WPAL. He runs WPAL with a very, very small number of volunteers. Okay? Again, if anyone wants to call him, the phone number for WPAL is 708-258-0056. All of the equipment, for those who don't know, is in a room above the Peatone Police Station. They allow WPAL to have their equipment up there, and all of the recording comes out from that room over the police station. Again, all of the government programming that can be covered from Beecher, Peatone, and Monee is done because of Mike Margraf, and give him a call sometime if you would like to thank him or volunteer your services. That's it.
Great, thank you. Mike, when he did come to our annual town meeting, had said something about if we needed help funding, and we had said at that time that we thought that it could be legal, but we would need from him the same thing that we asked from all groups, which was a letter asking for, something, and then also a budget showing budget expenses and that. And that offer's still open, and that's been about a year now, we haven't seen anything back, so you might want to mention it to him.
I will do that, thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Monroe, the volunteers that's being requested, any special training they need?
Any training that would have to be done would be done by him, which is, it's really very easy. You run a camera in the same way that I do. And if anyone at Beecher, Peatone, or Monee wants to put on their football games, or if they want to put on anything happening in their community, just give him a call, he'll tell you how to do it. Comcast Channel 4, where this stuff appears, runs a bulletin board telling you when the stuff will be on the air, when the programming will be on the air. And on WPAL TV on Facebook, he also lists a lot of other things happening in the community. So if you want to know what's going on, other events going on, just look there. He also covers a lot of the Will County. He doesn't do that himself, he works in cooperation with someone else. So the Will County government programming is also covered on WPAL. There's a lot of good stuff there. And on background, if there's no programs on, and along with the bulletin board, he has some great music in the background, so you can turn it on. If you're tired of listening to words, you can just turn it on and hear the music.
Okay, thank you very much. Barry, did you want to speak?
Yeah, I just want to say good evening and hello everybody. I'm Barry Kolonowski. I'm the Executive Director for Senior Services. And thank you for your financial support and out of appreciation for all that you've done over the years. We also are opening an office out here. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but we're co-locating over at the health department.
Oh, really?
They downsized. We're upsizing, and so we've hired people, and we're actually going to open an office here.
Here in Monee, in the health department, Monee?
Right in the health department building. Are you familiar with that location? Okay, so right in that kind of the strip mall area, we're going to be in there, and we have our furniture has all been delivered, so we're in that space, and our phones are going to come out here sometime next week. We'll be up and running, and certainly before March 1st, we'll actually have a staff member that'll be here working out of that office. So they won't be there all day, but they'll have people to visit in the community, and it just creates greater access for your seniors.
It does, because it is hard for seniors to get over to Joliet for so many of our services. So now that we know that, we'll be able to
Yeah.
Do you have office hours yet?
Well, we don't, but we'll have that all pretty finalized. I had a heart attack in December. I kind of threw the whole thing off by 30 days.
Wow.
So I'm still playing a little catch up with the team. But yeah, we got staff on board. We 2 years ago, you may have known the story, Senior Services wasn't sure it was going to be around. And they kind of brought me in. I had business and nonprofit experience. So I kind of was the bad guy to kind of make the hard decisions to stabilize. So we're stabilized now. Our finances are nice and strong. We're running in the black, unlike the state of Illinois. We're doing all right. And but we want to expand. One of the things that I told the board when I came on is I didn't understand how come we're the senior service of Will County, but we're really only doing Joliet. And I didn't get that. And so,
but they're great because we do so much, and
Yes.
they also have you have the SHIP programs, and
SHIP
I don't know if you'll have that out here, but that's a great program. It's one where you go in and they'll help you with your setting up for Medicare and looking at what might be the best plans for you medically to go into for your 20%. If your Medicare pays 80, then you have a 20% plan, and they give you. I actually went to one in the last year, and they were very good, and they do good work, and we've sent quite a few people over to you.
yeah. Well, and they've been doing services for 50+ years. Just that we're trying to reach out more and be a little farther out. So yeah, very excited to have that. Happy. Had to do a lot of paperwork, a lot of board approvals with the health department board, but they were excited to have us in place. And they have a mental health people there that are really untouched. And our senior population actually hit the first and second place of the highest demographics for suicide are seniors. The two top categories are seniors. And in fact, the statistics say 75% of seniors who committed suicide were actually with their primary care physician within 30 days of taking their own life. So there's a lot of education. Doctors maybe should be asking different questions, maybe more aware. Family could be aware. And so our marriage with the health department will bring more focus to the mental health capabilities here for depression for seniors, loneliness, isolation. We'll be able to help with some of that. You mentioned SHIP program, absolutely. We're right in the middle of taxes right now. Last year we did 2,400 taxes for seniors that just piled, and we have all different locations. But now that we've dropped anchor here, we're going to be able to do more things out here. So
There are a lot of calls for taxes.
yeah.
One question. Do you have someone we do have a senior committee, and most of the time when they're having programs, they're having the fun singers and magicians and everything. But every now and then they have a program where they bring in the fire chief and the police chief, and I'm wondering, is there someone from your area that could tell you, come in and just give us a quick synopsis to the seniors of programs that are available?
Yes, and to that, we do that all the time. I've come out, I've been invited to senior luncheons and breakfasts and just to talk about all the things senior services offers. And now you would still call the one phone number, and even though they'll transfer you to this mobile office because we're going to an internet phone base, so we're completely connected without having to do different phone numbers. So that'll help our seniors. but we loved those opportunities. I have a staff member whose her whole dedication, she's the senior life manager. Her whole job is to take programs out into the communities around in Will County. So she is already excited about being able to partner, do things at your local libraries, doing things right there at the health department. This is a great space to be able to hold a program. So we're going to be working with you and your senior committee. We look forward to making that connection. So
That'd
we
be
can
good,
work
because,
together.
yeah, I'll try to mention it to them, or Will will when we see them.
That would be great. I'll
And,
give you my
uh,
card if
yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, just leave everything with Will over here, and,
Well, you mentioned something about linking in the community with the library, so I'll take this.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, and that way they can reach out and connect with me, and I'll connect them with the person in charge.
that'd be great.
Yeah, we're very
Thank you
excited.
so much, I'm glad you came, and
Me
I
too.
didn't realize we were having a facility here, that's wonderful to hear. Dorothy, you had a question?
Yeah, I would like to invite you to contact the WPAL person
Okay.
and get your publicity person to work with WPAL to give as much publicity to your program here in this area as you can.
Once we're up and running, we're gonna do a ribbon cutting and give a real good community thing. But I wanna make sure we're kind of in place, so.
That's good to know.
Just a step, you know.
We appreciate that, because we really do use your agency a lot.
Well, that's great. We love that more. Thank you. I'm gonna scoot though.
All right, thank you.
Business.
Thank you very
Have
much.
a good evening, everybody.
Okay, supervisor's report. There's a general assistance report, 8 intakes, 5 applications, 0 flat grants, 0 other aid. 17 came in for pantry, 4 denied, 2 pending, 0 terminated. We have 5 on GA. We spent $1,225 for GA, $975 for EA, for a total of $2,200 for the period of January 13, 2017 through February 9th, 2017. The senior committee just last Tuesday had our Valentine's Day party. We have an annual one, and they always come in and decorate and do such a nice job of it. And we just had Norm ordered in some party stuff from food from Jimmy John's, and they had kind of a magician. He came in and did a nice little pitter patter, and everybody kind of enjoyed him. He was quite nice, so everybody had a good time. Our next event is going to be what they call their picnic in April. It's on April 21st, a Friday, and it is free for seniors in Monee Township who are 65 years and over. So just a note, so that'll go on WPAL and people can see it, but you must register ahead of time. We do have a limited number of people here, and it's going to be held here at the township. And some correspondence, there's a letter in your packet on Topics Day in Springfield on April 26th. There's something in there from Robin Kelly that says that at the Bolt Field on February 22nd, she's going to have a Southland infrastructure update with Congressman Robin Kelly, woman, say. And that was basically what I have for supervisor's report. Clerk's report?
On January 23rd, filed the certificate of ballot for the April 4th, 2017 election, as well as the statement of economic interest list certified. Also on Friday, February 10th, I reviewed and approved the ballot layout with the clerk's office. Those are the 2 items I have.
Okay. Great. And it was really nice to see the ballot that none of us have any opponents. It was great. No opposals, so that was nice. Highway Commissioner's report.
Not much happening. We had one brief little snow come through, ice. Other than that, been quiet.
Nice. For a change.
I will be starting to negotiate with Aqua on this road water line project. So maybe by next month I'll have something to report on that.
Okay, great. Esther is not here tonight. Had a slight accident, so she's a little sore, so she'll be in the office. Attorney's report?
Nothing to report.
No, All right, moving to new business. auditors, we needed to get an auditor for this year. Last year was our last year on our auditor's contract. And so we sent out letters to 4 or 5 people, but only one proposal came back, and that was from our present firm of Machete, Roth and Company. And their prices are still very reasonable. I was just looking at their old contract, and last year was $7,900, and so that this year would be, they go up $200 every year, 8,100, 8,300, and 84, and actually only 100 for the year between 18 and 19. So, which is pretty reasonable, and they do a good job. And they're constantly finding things that I gotta go, what, we do this, you know? But they seem to, and they work very well with Willa, and but they are, you know, they look at everything. They always seem to find something new, you know. Every year when they're looking at it, they're like, well, now, you know, we got this cleaned up. You need to look at this. So, you know, I find them very easy to work with. So, is there a motion to approve the contract with Machete, Roth and Company for 3-year contract for March? For the 2017, 2018, and 2019.
So moved.
Moved by Maurice. Is there a second?
So you said it'll go up 100 for the.
Well, actually, it's 8,100 of the first year, which is this year, and then it goes up $200 for next year, and then only $100 for the year after that, for the 2019. So, it's not too bad, really. All right, and the second is Terry. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Young,
Yes.
Supervisor Dever.
Yes. Okay, we have ATCOI dues, 2017 is $75. ATCOI is the group that is a youth group, and we really haven't done a lot with them, but I know Maurice and Terry have kind of kept an eye on it. So, but this is a yearly dues of $75. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Terry. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by James. Is there any discussion on it? No discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Young,
Yes.
Supervisor Dever.
Yes. Then we have the Township Clerks of Illinois dues, and they are only $30. And so this is the time of year we get all the dues. We will yet see the supervising dues and trustees dues yet. So is there a motion to approve the Township Clerk's dues of $30?
So moved.
Moved by Terry,
Second.
second by Maurice. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Young,
Yes.
Supervisor Dever.
Yes. The next item is just a reminder that the newsletter deadline is February 22nd. We're trying to get out the newsletter by March 1st because it'll have polling place information in it, and it'll also have the annual town information in it, and I don't know, just a little bit of everything. It'll also have like Christmas report and just a good catch up for the spring. Also, it'll be great because we'll have the timing of the GSU to put that article in there too. That'll be nice. Okay, next is,
Are we open Monday?
no,
Present.
No.
The 22nd is Wednesday.
yes.
You're open.
I know, but see, I'll be out of school Monday, so I can get it to you. I'll send it to you on email. So you come to work Tuesday, go ahead.
I mean, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
I
Friday.
know. The Lord willing.
Okay, next business is Monee Elementary PTO Social Service Agreement. They are asking for a donation, and this is kind of like our post-prom committee type of thing. So we gave them $100 when we gave to them last year, so I'm suggesting that we do $100 for the Monee Elementary School PTO. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Maurice,
Second.
second by Terry. Any discussion? Seeing none, and roll call vote?
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Decker.
Yes. Next is Monee Sports League, and this is for the, sports of baseball and softball in the village of Monee. It's called MSL, Monee Sports League. I did ask them for a copy of their budget, which they sent along, and, they say that I think they say that they have, or does it say in
It
here?
was on the table, I think. The budget should have been on the table.
No, the budget is, I was just looking to see if they had,
What are they looking for?
what?
It was on the table, that's what.
The budget is, right, on the
They're
table.
looking in their.
Oh, okay. No, it's on the
Not in
table.
packet, it was
No,
on the table.
I saw it.
Okay.
But what I was trying to look to see if they were a, and does it say in here if they're a nonprofit organization?
Is this a different
Yeah,
organization?
the letter says that.
I guess it's Monee baseball.
Is a
They changed the
nonprofit,
name, I think.
right.
Is it a different organization?
It's, I think the other organization, I think, kind of fell apart. So they had to come up again and start reorganizing.
Do we have their chain of command? Who's running?
Yeah, well, it says right here, President John Porpora, Vice President Letitia Balmius, Treasurer Chris Griffin, Secretary John Johnson. And did you send them an email asking them for the documents showing their nonprofit status?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything from that.
Okay, so,
So we have never given this organization anything, right? This is a different organization.
we gave, I think it's just an offshoot and the same thing, it's just the Monee baseball for the kids, basically.
I can,
I just want to make sure, are we talking apples, apples? I know it sounds like it may be a different organization that have taken over the baseball, I'm not sure.
They were pretty disorganized for a while, because we haven't really seen anything from them for a couple of years, just because they were not getting their act together. We would ask them to, submit a letter, and they wouldn't do it. They submit a budget, they wouldn't do it, so it just was really I think this is, whatever group this is, the group that's taken over and is now running the baseball league for the kids.
Do we know that for certain?
I don't know that for certain. We could invite them to our March meeting,
I won't be comfortable with that.
and then at the same time ask them to bring in their documentation for showing their nonprofit organization.
Yeah, you do, the rules do require.
Right, we need something, we did
they've been
email
in
them for
existence
that.
for a year and that sort of thing.
Right, so, yeah, why don't you send them an email back to them and just tell them that we need more information on the league. We would appreciate if, members would come and explain and, ask them, and it said they have to be in business for how long?
1 year, if it's gonna be a nonprofit association.
1 year, okay, and ask them to bring in their nonprofit status and how long they've been in league.
Normally it takes about a year to get,
Yeah.
go through the work, because
And maybe they're just piggybacking, just change their name, and that's very possible.
But then they have to change the name on the documents too, right, Joe?
Yeah, but there's no indication here whether they're, a not-for-profit corporation or what exactly are they? I mean, all they say is nonprofit organization.
Right.
That doesn't really say.
Right, doesn't tell us much. No, and we did email them because I said, no, we needed proof of that, and we did not get it, so anyway, we'll hold on to this, and we'll email and invite them to give them the date of our meeting, and tell them to be here right at 7, and try to get them on the agenda first thing on that. Okay, the next thing is our wheel ride. This is our November, the total of $1,570.03 is what we owe this for November month. Is there a motion to approve that amount, please? Motion to approve?
Where are we at, Don?
Or on wheel ride?
Put it on your top, what's on
Oh,
the
the top.
That was probably on the table because we just got it.
It's right there in the front.
Yeah,
On
right
the back,
there.
yeah, that's it.
And it's a total of that, they were $774.56 that was due from the Jarkney Freedom Rides, and then another added to that is the 804.47, which is the, area aging grant. So she does it separately because there are two different multipliers in there. So the total is $1,579.03. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by James, is there a second?
Second.
By Terry, any discussion?
I'm looking for the 15.
It's a combination of the 774 and the 804.
It's on the back ones, back of that first one.
See, she has to separate it because one's area aging money, which is a,
You're looking at the total.
yeah, the total is added together,
But
right?
the total is not documented.
No, the total is, well, if you add those two together, it's 1579.03. All right, any other discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Dabber?
Yes. Next thing on our agenda is the line item transfer in the general town budget from 5195 contingencies, the amount of $700 going to 5100 office supplies, and the amount of $1,000 going to 5205 equipment maintenance. Is there a motion to approve this line item transfer?
And what is that equipment maintenance for?
Equipment maintenance, we looked that up, what was it? That
What
was
was that for?
For the computers.
Oh, computers?
Monthly maintenance on the computer.
We've handled some different issues with them, so we've, you know.
Maintenance on which computers were ours?
Ours, no. Willa's, mine, I don't know, there were a bunch of.
Yeah, they did an upgrade, they did, a yearly checkup on all the computers, all 6, 7 computers, and then I was having problems with my computer, and they worked on that for a couple of days.
We had
Is your
to-
computer outdated?
No, it's a fairly new,
It's a
but
new one.
the
It's a
motherboard
new
went out, and we've had to, so they've had to order another motherboard, and then the time and everything
Yes,
that
they're
takes
on
to
the
install
warranty,
all of
so they
that,
have to-
you know, so. Okay, is there a motion? Yeah, do I have a motion on that?
So moved.
James, is there a second?
Second.
I carry. Any other discussion?
Do we not have a maintenance contract with the vendor of choice or no?
The company that owns the computer, there is some type of, they are under warranty, which is why we're getting the motherboard free. But, you know, we're on an hourly basis with our other people.
So, and we say we did some maintenance on these terminals right here.
This month, there was a yearly upgrade, yearly checkup, I should say.
We are putting these terminals to use.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have people that come in all the time.
Yeah, these 3 here are for the public. We have 3 computers that are for the public, and those 3, we've had quite a few people coming in.
Yeah, I come in and
Looking for jobs,
Right.
posting resumes.
we see some seniors come in and use them for different things, and they said job searches are good for that too, so.
No, I
Yeah,
know
they're used.
David has his own budget, but David, do you use this particular vendor as well? Yes. So you had your computer upgraded?
Yeah, he upgraded that one.
Everyone in this building. And Sandra has her own.
That's her own,
She has her
right,
own-
that's out of her budget.
own, tech.
Okay.
Anything that does happen to David, you know, they split out, and it gets charged to his fund, and ours is to ours, and Sandra's is theirs, so, and she has her own little group that does it, so.
Right.
All right,
One last question, do they put the, software, what do you call it, the, internet security, what am I trying to ask? They put all this stuff to keep it
All of
safe,
this.
is that part of the updating?
The security.
The
and all
security,
that.
right.
that was all part of it.
Yeah,
Right, right.
the
Yeah,
soft,
all that.
myware.
Malware.
No.
Myware.
Oh, that's not,
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion, James, a second with Terry. Is there a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Bowles?
yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Deborah?
Yes. We need to set the budget hearing, April 20th, 2017, from 7 to 7:15. Is there a motion, please?
The 17th?
Oh,
April, it's our regular board meeting night.
Oh.
And we always do it from 7 to 7:15, you know, rather that way if people come to it, they, you know, sometimes the old boards used to set it for like 6:30, but then nobody knew about it. And they'd show up at 7 o'clock at the regular meeting and, you know, because they don't read notices. All right.
I noticed you have budget workshop under the hearing.
Right, well, this is just to set the hearing, because we have to have a 30-day notice, and there isn't 30 days between March and my April, so I have to do it, set the hearing now. This is just to set the hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Terry,
Second.
second by Maurice. Okay, any further discussion? All right, roll call vote.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Deborah?
Yes. Now, in your packet was a budget worksheet, which was showing our expenses year-to-date to 216, and then the proposed last column is the 2017 amount. Then where I've estimated carryover, estimated real estate taxes, and all that other stuff, plus estimated expenses. Payroll went up because, the amount that I'm asking for payroll expenses is because of the increase in salaries. When we add up all the increases for the official salaries that were voted in, that adds $12,900 a year. Fortunately, this year we got rid of our building expenses, so all of that, we were able to add the salary without having a problem there. And also, you'll notice that at the very end of the budget, that the town budget is spending only 501 budgeting compared to budgeting 514,100 a year ago. And that's because of the difference in not having to budget for the building, which means then more of that, anything extras will come in, and when you see the regular budget, which will be in the next year's budget in the regular format, you'll see that we're having more of a carryover, holdover, and which is what we're trying to do is build our funds back up so that we have a year or two balance, which is what is needed for good accounting, just in case something would ever happen with our state funding.
So we did not have a mortgage burn?
No.
So we paid off our mortgage here?
No.
That should really be broadcast. That's very commendable. So that was a big chunk.
It was a big check, I'm glad it's paid off, and it's just a damn shame that the board that put us in that debt didn't give us a kitchen and didn't do the things that should have been done to make us a little bit more hospitable for meetings. And, so I'm glad that that's paid off. And the other thing is that they did a renovation for $500,000, and I actually had a whole new building with architect's drawings and everything that was going to go up for $500,000. So I was never too happy with that new building thing. Wow. So that's a sore spot, Marie.
Okay.
We spent a lot of time getting building plans together on that too. Okay, but most everything is just a few things up and down as you see, as we tried to, go up as we saw that we were spending more on supplies, we're spending more on, I think the phone went down a little bit because we've gotten, our phone bills a little less, so that did go down a couple $100. And Sandra's budget, basically, I had asked her if she would try to lower her, expenses by 1%, but she said no, but she only did go up just under 0.5%, so about 0.44, so that wasn't too bad. So her budget doesn't reflect a big increase either. And David stays about the same. His is always a little bit more difficult when you start figuring it because you got to figure in the motor fuel taxes and you got to figure in all kinds of odd things in there, like the money that has to go out of you know, income that has to go back to the other municipalities, their cut of it, so it's always hard. As I said, this is just the general county. We have another month to kind of look at everything over. We're gonna have another one in March, and then in March I will bring you back the actual copy of the tentative budget put into the form that we hang up over here. And then that is the budget that will be posted for 30 days before the budget hearing. So that's what we'll have. Did anybody see anything they want to make changes on, or anything you see out of line?
Who prepares these forms right
I did. Well, actually, when I was a trustee,
Mhm.
they had nothing like this. As a trustee, I said, I cannot compare budget years unless you give me something, and so I made them do the worksheets and to go back at least 5 years. So yeah, that's why
here? So you prepare those?
I started the format, and then Willa does this on a regular
Okay, so you
basis, she
plug in
brings
all
it
the
up to
numbers.
date. But this started years ago when I was a trustee,
I'll
and
hold you accountable.
Did his program to add up everything correctly?
You know that's gonna be my next
There's
question.
the formulas are.
right,
I
and
checked
if we
those,
enter the
and
right
we checked
numbers,
those.
it does.
And then Donna does it by hand to make sure that the computer's right and she's right.
So what I do is give her all the handwritten stuff. She puts everything in, and then she'll say, this doesn't add up. So then we go through the numbers, and either I have to change my numbers because I was wrong, or she changes because she typed it in wrong, one or the other. But it's a process. I was here all last week,
I did notice on,
working on budget, I can tell you
Usually
that.
some of the numbers didn't come out, so.
Okay.
But, okay, well, then we'll, as I said, keep an eye on that. We'll be bringing that back again next week to, next month to approve the tentative budget. Let's go into old business. I'm gonna talk about the TIF, the Village of Monee. We had 3 meetings on TIF 5. After the first meeting, I discussed with David everything that had gone on and what was being said and what I thought. And at that time, which was about the 20th of January or something like that, we had decided at that time that we would abstain any vote because it really didn't have much impact on whether we did, and whether the joint board review approved or disapproved, it wasn't going to have much impact because the Village of Monee had the votes. So we decided rather than having anybody mad at us, it was just easier to abstain, which is what I did. And but there were enough other joint board review members that were at the meeting, and which we just were there last Monday, 13th. And they did approve TIF to go forward, and which is all a joint board review does. It just looks at everything and approves it and says, well, yes, we think that you've satisfied all the legalities that you need to satisfy, and you know, so you have our approval. And if we had disapproved, then only difference is that it would have been a 3/5 majority instead of a simple majority to go past the Village of Monee Board. And we understood they had the vote anyway. But many interesting things came out of this. One of the things that we had this last meeting on February 13th was because we all wanted to contact our lawyers to talk about a legal brief that was given by the TIF attorney that the school district had hired. The TIF attorney came in with this legal opinion that basically said that what the Village of Monee was doing was illegal. And I had read through that, and I really disagree with what the TIF lawyer was saying either, but I'm not a TIF lawyer, and neither was anybody there. So it was decided that we would talk a little bit more. So after talking with Joe, he agreed with me, and he said, you know, it's not as black and white as all that, being legal or not legal. It is, it's not that black and white. He said, also, another thing that was interesting was that he did some case law study, and that most if people bring lawsuits, that's the only other thing you can do. If your joint board review, has approves or disapproves and they pass it, then it's up to a taxi buddy if they want to spend their taxpayer dollars that way to, I guess, bring a lawsuit. But the problem is that I think that would be a waste of taxpayer dollars to do that for any entity, for the simple fact that from all the case law that Joe studied, and tell me if I'm saying anything wrong, Joe, is that most of the TIF lawsuits have been handled in favor of the municipalities. And there is no reason to think that it wouldn't at this fact, especially since the joint board of review and most of the taxing bodies did approve it. So, they did bring in, Monee did bring in a bond lawyer too that talked a little bit more about, and he did say he thought it was legal also, and explained why, and went through a bunch of legal things on that. It was very enlightening. It was very interesting. I think that it was a good outcome, even though I did abstain. I think it was a good outcome overall. It doesn't going to affect the village, the township that much, because even if the figures that were crunched by the TIF attorney for the school board were correct, it's about an $18,000 a year supposed loss. But that won't be that much of a loss to us, because as of right now, we still have monies that, have been back on the tax rolls from TIF 2, 3, and 4, and so those are already out, and so they're just going back in, so we're not going to see much difference. The only thing we will see is we're going to have a little bit of a windfall. The school district will have a huge windfall, because what happens is that all the TIF money, it's like TIF 2 was closed out December 31st. They started at 82,000, they ended up at 9.9 million. Anything that goes now from TIF 2 territory into TIF 5 is going in at that 9.9 million. We have reaped the benefits from 82,000 up to that 9.9 million. So that's an EAV, which I figured out for Dave's budget ends up to be about $30,000. So, and then once it, as I said, once it goes into TIF 5, it goes in that 9.9 million. So he's still going to get that on a regular basis. So I think that's good. And the same thing will happen with TIF 3 parcels and TIF 4 parcels, that they will all be reevaluated to the 2016, and we will reap the benefits if there's any between the two. And there'll be a little bit in each one of those, not the big thing like TIF 2 was. So, but basically our meetings are over. The joint board of review did approve it, and so I don't have another TIF meeting to go to. Thank the Lord. But I did learn a lot. We are going to look to the next item, which is revised mileage policy, and this was one that Sandra had asked that we do, which is just adding in, there's italicized language at the very bottom of that third paragraph before the name. It says, if requests for reimbursements are received after the 6th of the month, then they will be placed in the monthly disbursement for the following regular board meeting. And which we thought was implicit, but she thought that it needed to be written, and I saw no reason why not to put that in there. So if we can just approve the language change as written, I would appreciate that. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
So moved by Terry. Is there a second? Second. By James. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Dabra?
Yes. Okay, we're going to go into youth committee with Maurice, and he has the GSU 2017 agreement, which is on the table, I believe. It came in after the packet. And it looks good, Maurice. The changes that I saw was that it went from $55 an hour to $70 an hour, which sounds reasonable. It's only $15 an hour. I think everything else is pretty much the same.
I really do expect, I don't know what happened here, but as far as the end date, I think he thought I said May the 1st, but I so I'm actually getting the 31st, so I would, if we're gonna approve this agreement with the intentions of making that a change to May the 31st, contingent on me.
I would say we wouldn't go past the middle of
Okay.
May. But the other thing is this, Will and I have been discussing it. It says here February 19th as a
Which is-
start date,
which
which
is-
is too soon. We're actually thinking that March, what, 5th, March
The first
5th,
Sunday in March.
which is the first Sunday in March is the best way to go. So, because we've got to get letters out to the people, and then also it'll come out with our newsletter coming out about the 1st of March, and that'll get people there.
I don't know if this Sunday.
March 5th.
So March 5th is what we need, to change that to starting date to 3/5,
The middle of May,
Right.
whatever day that is, that's Sunday.
right? April 16th is a Sunday, Easter Sunday, we will not, omitting
Okay.
April 16th, or 16, and then through, what's the Sunday in May, the second Sunday in May, Lauren?
Second Sunday in May is May 14th.
I think then through May 14th, if that's okay with them.
It's
Is that
Mother's Day.
Is that Mother's Day? Then that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work, Mother's Day is not
So
gonna work.
let's just maybe take it to the next one,
The 22nd, the 21st.
and not have a 14th.
No, okay.
How's that?
No 5/14.
Because the 28th would be Memorial Weekend.
Right, so that's the next,
Yeah, that
right,
would be the following weekend.
so that works out.
Yeah, so May
Okay.
21st then. And you think that'll be okay with?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, so what we're doing then is that we're going to do these dates effective as starting
April 16th.
March 5th, omitting 4/16 and 5/14, which is Easter and Mother's Day, and then running the program so the end date is 5/21. From hours of 5 to 9. Do we have enough volunteers, Maurice? Do we have enough people that are coming? That's the biggest concern, because I know that we were running pretty short. It seemed to be you.
We should be good.
You seemed, okay, so
Yeah.
to see you, and it was you and
Yeah,
James
that's
and.
me and James,
Put a question mark behind
me
my
and James
name
and
there.
Willa, Thank you so much, James.
Yeah, but James is having some questions.
I'll try, but I'm not gonna promise
No,
you.
I
so,
should be okay with it,
I'm
even
running.
without James.
All right. And Terry and.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to
My daughter,
Partner.
That's good. All right, okay. So I guess we need a motion to approve this agreement, and then do you want Willa to revise put our dates in here, and
Can
then
you send it?
send it to Dean?
Yeah, that works so well.
Email it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Then is there a motion to approve the agreement with DSU for our spring nights,
So move.
youth night, moved by Maurice?
Second.
Second by James. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Davin.
Yes. Good.
All right.
Thank you for
Good.
working on that, Maurice, because
Thank you.
that's gonna be nice to have that
Yeah,
program.
that has a partnership. Resurrect.
Yeah, I'm going to, we'll make sure that there's a notice in the newsletter, and, WPAL can help. This will tell them that March 5th will be the starting date back for our youth night at GSU, and then,
Put it on the website.
it'll be on the website, we'll have it in the newsletter, and then in my supervisor article, I've got a little mention of it too, so we're trying to bring out as much as we can on that. Besides, we're sending letters, if we don't get them tomorrow, by the first of next week, we'll have letters going out to the former participants that were signed up before. And,
Those ID cards still valid, aren't you?
Lifetime membership.
but anybody new, she'll tell them in their article, that they have to register if they aren't already registered, so.
Well, I do have a question. You still have the photo machine? Can you?
The ID machine?
The ID. Can you,
Mhm.
make some IDs up for the volunteers.
For the volunteers? Sure.
Right.
You go, like, who you
'Cause
want?
I'm sorry.
Who would you like?
If you want to give them names.
I'll get
and-
that to you.
Oh, okay.
I'll get that to
You
you.
gotta get the background check.
Hmm.
You gotta get the background check.
If you get new volunteers that have never done it, you've got to have that police
Right.
background check.
And you have to be Bennett.
Who conducts the who do we have?
Trace.
Trace, I did out of Chicago
Trace,
Heights.
out of Chicago Heights.
On Balmer Road?
We have the, I have the
seen
paperwork
that in-
here.
Okay,
They have to get a paper, a sheet here and they take over there.
okay, all right. All right, just email me that too, the information.
Okay.
Now, I have my personal secretary look at my email. Getting better, getting better.
Okay.
Just a little bit better.
So you'll send them more info on how we can get volunteers signed up, okay? Great on that. And Going Green, you're just keep a normal thing in the newsletter.
Yes.
Anything else on that?
No.
Great. Okay, let's go into then the trustee audit of accounts. The trustee audit of accounts from January 20th to 2017 to February 16th for a total of $120,814.37. Start that with James this time. Is there a motion to approve the audit of accounts?
So moved.
Moved by Maurice. Harry, a second?
Second.
Second by James. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Deborah?
Yes. Okay, board comments. You have one?
I don't have
Oh, no. All right, seeing none, then is there a motion to adjourn? Moved by Terry, second by Maurice.
Yes.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Deborah?
Yes.